It's dark, just like the world. It's bright, like absolutely fucking nothing at the moment. The world's a shithole. Let's have a laugh. And have a rage. It's news Unboringed. That is what we do. Let's start off with former Prime Minister Liz Truss still refusing to take accountability. Didn't do everything perfectly, but it wasn't that bad. And she's told the BBC that she'd been trying to turn around the economy by increasing borrowing in her mini budget. Borrowing more money means that you need more money, which in turn devalues the money you bought. It makes no fundamental fucking sense. And speaking on a visit to Queen Elizabeth Hospital in King's Lynn, she said she now has more time to fight for her constituents. She refused to apologise for increasing national borrowing, even though it was a stupid idea, because the more money you borrow, the more debt you have. Yeah. Therefore, the less money you sort of, have. MPs have said Boris Johnson may have misled Parliament multiple times over Partygate, but the former PM insists that he will be vindicated by their report. The Privileges Committee has said it has seen evidence that strongly suggests COVID rule breaches would have been obvious to Mr Johnson, but Mr Johnson said he never knowingly or recklessly misled MPs about lockdown gatherings in Downing Street. It's a stupid defence, complete bollocks. Let's move on. In other news... Shit. I had other fucking news, and I've completely got it. Hang on, I'll figure it out. Oh, of course. Well, situation over the missing baby is over. They found the baby dead. She seems to have been dead as a long time, and the parents have been arrested for manslaughter and I think keeping him in a dangerous place. I think those have been what they've been charged with. And if it's true that they did that, they're the scum of the earth, because who the fuck would want to kill anyone? Never mind a baby. And I think it's not something particularly off the discussion. In other news, Stephen Bear has been jailed for sharing a sex video on OnlyFans. He's been jailed for 21 months. For, sharing a private video of him on sex with his ex-partner, which has caused extensive humiliation and embarrassment, the judge said. If you could have put sex, at least get some fucking consent. In other news, Ludmila Potolova was murdered by her friend by hitting her more than 50 times with a claw hammer, a court has been told. A frenzied attack. Well, that did happen. Scam of the earth. If it didn't, why the fuck are they accusing him? Furthermore, Elton John, Arctic Monkeys, and are headlining Glastonbury. They're not too bad, but why the fuck would you get Guns N' Roses? Axl Rose can't fucking sing anymore. Need to fucking retire him already. Fuck bloody getting him in fucking Glastonbury. We've also got Lizzo, Lana Del Rey, Lil Nas X, Spanish Street Preachers, Wizkid and Blondie. And in the legend spot is Cat Stevens, who I think is known as like Yusuf now. Let me just double check. Yeah, Yusuf, also known as Cat Stevens, will play the legend slot previously occupied by Carly and Dolly Parton. I think it was Pet Shop Boys last year. And of course, I finally remember what I was going to talk about at first. The leaked messages. Ooh, leaked messages, little scandal. Just give me a second to have a lie down, because this is going to be quite a fucking big one. The leaked messages, leaked by Isabel Oakeshott, who works for Talk TV, revealed the battle over COVID in schools. Apparently, she's been texted in private, menacingly with a big mistake little thingy. The Prime Minister turned reality star, who was on I'm a Celebrity, of course, towards the end of last year, isn't in a great place at the moment. His popularity was like skyrocketed, I presume, during I'm a Celebrity. He finished fucking third. Don't know who the hell voted him. And yeah, he pledged to donate, I think it was like 80k of his 300 and something grand to some dyslexia charity. It's only been confirmed to have donated 10 grand, so he's a bad liar when it comes to that shit. So yeah, that's unacceptable, but back to the text. Former Health Secretary Matt Hancock tried to bypass Education Secretary Gavin Williamson to have schools closed in December 2020, messages published by the Daily Telegraph suggest. In other news, WhatsApp messages released by the paper. Mr. Hancock described teaching unions as absolute arses. I'm not sure the fucking Tories with all the strikes will disagree with that, let's be honest. They're trying to ban the damn things, which is obviously a breach of workers' rights, because to withdraw their labour at any time is a worker's right. And to breach that is pathetic. Other leaked messages, well, leaked by the Daily Telegraph, appear to show that Mr. Johnson considered ending the first lockdown in 2020 earlier than planned, but decided against it after being told that doing so would be too far ahead of public opinion. Mr. Johnson feared he had blinked too soon and announced a second lockdown in November 2020, on the basis that data told by experts was wrong. They're experts. It can't have been that fucking far off, but it did seem like a sort of fake lockdown, because it was there for a month and, like, it was just not a lockdown, was it? People still went to school. It was barely a fucking lockdown, was it? First one, definitely a lockdown. Is that one for a month? No. The UK government changed its face mask policy in England in August 2020 to avoid a row with the Scottish government. The leaked messages are among more than 100,000 sent by ministers and officials during Mr. Hancock's time as Health Secretary, which journalist Isabel Oakeshott passed to the paper. A vocal critic of coronavirus lockdowns, Miss Oakeshott obtained them whilst helping Mr. Hancock write his book, Pandemic Diaries. She's got 2 PMs in jail. She's made everyone think David Cameron did some weird things to a pig. Your mom, anyway. And she says she broke a legal agreement by releasing the messages because it's in the public interest, and she stands by that. And I say, fair enough. We deserve to know, what the fuck led to all the decisions being made, and we deserve to have a COVID inquiry. So many countries have done theirs. Why aren't we doing ours? In a statement, the former Health Secretary said there was absolutely no public interest for this huge breach. Blah blah blah. Yeah. And the messages have also had a claim of rejecting care home advice, and that Jacob Rees-Mogg had a COVID test couriered during the shortage because one of them didn't work, or one of them didn't get any. Doesn't he have 6 fucking children? One of them's called Sixes as well. He's such a posh fart. Of course it was couriered. Get on a fucking van or something. Get a UPS driver to fucking send it. A courier. Fucking posh tit. But yeah, quite an unbelievable, unprecedented situation. And yeah, now Sue Gray, and one final thing, now Sue Gray is showing fucking Labour, which seemed to maybe make the impartiality of Partygate seem not very impartial anymore. So some Tories are calling for an inquiry. I think it's understandable if they do, but you can easily stop being impartial at any time. I could do impartial fucking news coverage and then turn into this fucking opinionated little rabbitly bitch at any time. It's just a mask. To be impartial is a mask. And even then, it's impossible to be fully impartial and not have any biases whatsoever in your coverage, because that doesn't happen. It just doesn't. But yeah, if an inquiry did go down, I'd understand it, to be honest. But like, if it didn't, I wouldn't care, because I don't really care. There's bigger issues in the world, like the cost of living crisis that is still continuing. And strikes, basically. Right then, that is it for tonight's episode of News Unboringed. See you whenever I can bother to do another one. Good night. Keep your news unboringed.